Are you confused about what it is to be a man today, or about what the society expects of you as a man?
Well, I've gotten a whole lot of contradictory signals in my life, Bill. and I'm, you know, it's to be Superman and Superwoman, to be the best parent, to be the best child, to be the best person, to be everything to everybody, and then it still never seems to be good enough.
I feel safer talking with men than I do with women in kind of in this vein, that I can tell you what I think about you, and if it hurts you, somehow that doesn't affect me. But if you were a woman and I told you something that hurt you, then somehow I'd be responsible for hurting you. But if you're male, take it, you know.
We're also afraid of women. And I don't know why that is. That's an interesting discovery to make after so many relationships. And right now, I too feel a little safer with men, and I don't have an explanation for that.
As males, you grow up with your emotional experience centered on women.
Right,
and yeah, that's right. And all the political and economic and military power in the world doesn't erase that dependency. And so one feels hamstrung sometimes in the presence of this kind of womanly power.
And we deal with that at home. We deal with females at home, but we don't ever have other males, with the exception of our sons. We don't ever have other males that we can talk to that about. But I can talk to my wife about the female point of view and that, but very seldom do I get together with guys and talk about it.
I realize I desperately want to heal my relationship with my father, and it's very difficult for me, and I see a lot of issues in my life that I become frustrated with myself, and I blame myself a lot, and now I realize my dad is, as strong as my feelings are for and against him, still very important to me, and I do much better with that when I realize that there are other men that also have that as an important issue in their lives.
For some of us, the problem is all the more poignant. Our fathers have died. How do we resolve that? I mean, I can feel it in my voice. And my voice is changing now as I try to express.
Why do you think your voice is changing?
Because of the emotion. I mean, thank you.
What do you need to heal with your father?
I'm not sure what it is. Tried to show love and it was rejected. Tried to seek advice and it was a put down.
Well, one of the reasons I came is because there seems to me to be for years an incredible lack of strong men, clear men, powerful men in this world. And Robert Bly is one of those men of power.
Amen.
And I always grew up believing that nature abhorred a vacuum. And what I see is that we've gotten so close to a complete vacuum of powerful male men in this world, male models of clarity, initiated men, that we men are trying to rediscover fire. And that is the quest.
Are you aware that some people say this is a throwback, a regression to the segregation of the past, to the time when men had their own private clubs and could talk about things without worrying about anybody catching on to their secrets, that this is a throwback?
I don't think it's that way at all. Women learned that they will say certain things when men are not present. Women will talk about certain things when men are not present. And that's surely true of men, because the sexes can shame each other so easily. So for the men getting near their grief, it's really important that it be done in the presence of men. So it isn't an attempt to exclude women in that sense at all.
You think that men have a harder time with relationship than women?
I think that men cannot mix words with feelings as well as women. And this has been known for a long time. But sometimes the fury of the male happens because the woman is able to go ahead of him, finishes his sentences for him, goes on ahead, and he cannot do it. The mix isn't there. It takes him a long time to learn how to do that, 40 or 50 years. The woman can often do it at 14. And some of the rage of men has to do with that. So it's important for men to be together and expressing their feelings at their own pace, which is slower than women's pace, at their own pace, and then eventually they come down into grief and they come down into some other place. The amount of feeling on the fourth day of a men's group alone is unbelievable, fantastic to someone who hasn't been there. They will show more feeling and amaze themselves with the depths of their feelings. And many times they wouldn't have shown that to a woman. Later they can do so.